Well, I think this is very interesting because we knew that it would start on a Friday. And I've been telling Sam ever since I've met her that it will be after 5 o'clock on a Friday when we see something that'll be major, major, major news. Because they always release major, major, major news on Friday after 5 o'clock. No one's paying attention because they're getting excited about Friday night and Saturday. So, with that video I posted earlier of the agreement between Saudi Arabia and the United States, them declaring Bitcoin halal means they've declared digital currency as a whole halal, which means the digital currency could already be there and ready to kick off and turn on at one time. Who knows how this is going to happen? They really could kill the dollar slowly by buying oil in Bitcoin, but they're not going to be able to use the US dollar anymore to buy oil. They'll have to convert it to another currency that Saudi Arabia accepts. So that is huge. So I'm going to get gas. I'm not telling you you should get gas, but I'm going to get gas because all I really care about is having enough to have it comfortable for a couple of days max myself. Other than that, I mean, Jesus will provide for my needs. I just want to provide for my wants till then, if that makes sense. And I want gas so I can go somewhere. And I want certain stuff to eat or creamer for my coffee or whatever it may be. You know, if you've got any wants, you might want to get it. But I'm not a prepper. I don't prep for anything because he's always provided for my needs. And it's not going to stop now. He said he'd return in the days of Noah. He told us to watch, regardless of what the truth is on the back end that I've seen. He told us to watch their timeline, meaning the world's timeline. The world is watching the timeline that's playing out on our TVs, regardless of whether it's real or not. He prophesied about the timeline the world would be seeing, and us that are awake. He prophesied about the timeline we'd be watching the world watch, and we'd see the truth behind it. That's the way I see it as far as how it feels laid upon my heart. I believe we're going home before anything major happens. Because people, need to still be able to get married and, give in marriage and buy and sell, and they have to be able to do all the things the world's doing at the time the flood happened. And they're doing those today. They're doing those the day before day zero of their count. But I think symbolically they kicked it off yesterday because at the beginning of Trump's speech, he wore a yellow tie and he come out and said, "How do you like my tie? I wore a special tie. It represents the sun." It was in a church, so the crowd starts cheering. He's not talking about the Son of God. He's talking about the sun, which they have covered up. He's Apollo. He's got it all over his penthouse on the 66th floor of Trump Tower. About 10 minutes into the speech, he got the whole crowd yelling bullcrap, but not in the safer children fashion, inside of a church. It was amazing to watch, not because it was inside of a church. That's their church. That's not my church. That's their church. I'm not mad about anything they do inside of a church. I don't go to a church. So anyway, I just wanted to make everybody aware of that. Because if you notice what it says in this, it says, breaking news, Biden signs new guidance for using U.S. nuclear weapons. This isn't guidance for Ukraine to use U.S. nuclear weapons. This is guidance for us to use U.S. nuclear weapons on somebody else. President Joe Biden has signed the new guidelines on conditions for the U.S. use of nuclear weapons. This was announced by a foreigner. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not saying it in a racist way. I'm saying we gave our country away throughout this. So, I mean, what did we expect? The updated guidance takes into account the realities of the new nuclear era. They emphasize the need to address the growth and diversity of China's nuclear arsenal, as well as the need to contain Russia, China, and North Korea simultaneously, he said. Notice they did this after 5 p.m. on a Friday. So this is on Hal Turner. What gets me is the need to contain Russia, China, and North Korea simultaneously, because we see how much of a great deal maker the administration has shown itself to be on the news. Remember, this is not a real administration. This is not real, but it will have real consequences. I would say we're so close it's scary to the world, but be encouraged. The gospel is 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4. That Christ died on the cross according to the Scriptures. He was buried and he rose on the third day according to the Scriptures. Y'all take care.